All right, guys, how are we doing? How are we all today? Power first. Yes, you are first. You are definitely first. Oh, and you've stopped crafting already. We have a ninja and get that. Get all this weekly stuff done. Why is that only 2? Good timing from Manfi to hear. Yeah, it's almost like I was watching Manfius' stream and I thought, you know, I'll just stream when Manfius is finished so I can watch Manfius' stream. Completely not selfish at all. Good morning, Bago. How are you today? Teacher. I don't know about teacher. You said that the other day as well, didn't you? You said that on Tuesday. It's still early in the US, so hopefully doing this weekly stuff's not going to be too bad for once. Keep leaving it till like the day before reset, like late. It ends up taking me ages. Oh, I've just realised I've not got the flask either. I don't actually know if I got some knowledge to spend. I don't think I've really been spending it, to be honest. Got 3. Capped all those. Capped that. I think the next play is to max this out. I'm not 100% sure. But this gives +1 skill with all deposits. Which is just going to get more rank 3 stuff, isn't it, whenever it's an unusual deposit. Although I have thought about getting this one as well. The seams one I don't think is worth it. Because those things are so rare. But it's either rich deposits or maxing that out. This one at least anyway, because getting +45 skill on all deposits, on all special deposits, it's not bad. It's not bad, let's be fair. I'll kill him. It wasn't me, but I liked it and I copied. Oh, is it going to become a thing? Can't remember. You know, so many people say so much stuff in streams, I can never remember. Unless you've got a really weird name. Or you say something really wacky. Come on, I could do with at least one already. Hello, Azor. Good to have you. How are you today? You know what? I'm freaking boiling. It was absolutely freezing here yesterday. It's been -3 overnight. And then this morning it's just sweltering. And that's just what the UK is like for weather. It just can never make up its mind. Healing potions ranked to any good? No. So this character is not actually crafting properly. So if you see here, this is on the PTR. So what I do is when I want numbers for stuff, rather than if I know it's if I want massive numbers of stuff, rather than sort of buying loads of stuff and selling it on retail, I will buy loads of stuff and then just copy my character loads of times on the PTR, and then you can get data much better that way. Although last time I did it, rank 2 potions were profitable, but it's just easy doing it this way. Like I can craft all this, and then I can copy the character. I can craft, and you can just craft and craft and craft as much as you want to get the numbers that you want for your crafting sheet. So that one's not really doing anything useful. My tailor's actually crafting on live. The one in the bottom left, my head's obstructing. He's doing just some regular crafting. Come on. How did I run out of vigor? Let me have it, let me have it. And I'm gone. See it, why can't I click it? Oh, it's gone. Now I'm gone. Is it me or rank 3 tempered potions not profitable at all, even with multi-craft and resourcefulness factored in? I was wondering why people keep making them and increasing supply. If it is it people herbing. The thing is, they probably are very minutely profitable for someone somehow, because people won't do it if they're not making gold from it. If people are making a loss from it, they'll stop doing it. And then when they start getting a profit again, they'll carry on doing it, so the price sort of stabilizes itself. But people might have just bought herbs when they were cheaper. The problem most people have with alchemy in particular is they try crafting everything on reset day. And so everything looks like it's not a profit, but it's because everyone else has probably crafted over the weekend when the herbs are cheaper. Or they generally are cheaper, shall I say. Not always. Nothing surprises me in this expansion at the moment of how quick the markets have been crashing at times. Lots of echo. Are you still getting echo? don't know where it's coming from if you're still getting echo, because it's not a problem I've ever had before. But if there's two of you saying it, then obviously it's an issue. It's good now. Yeah, okay. I just moved the mic a bit closer. Sort of a very technical response to that. Come on, you mind that. Oh, it's good now, sorted. Right, that's all fine then. Oh. Nope, get off me, get off me. Yeah, that's really odd how that's happened. I don't know where that's come from, the issue with the mic. I did 1,000 crafts of rank 3 tempered potions and lost 25k in the end when I started with a profit, crafted in the weekend and saw Wednesday reset day that lost value. Yeah. I've got to say, I don't particularly like rank 3 markets at all myself, to be honest. Just because I said it on a video a while ago, didn't I? You can make a little bit more gold sometimes than like the rank 1 and rank 2 markets, but you're so much more vulnerable to losing gold because the amount you've got invested. Come on, everything's just disappearing in front of me. I was making something that simulated the crafting process, and even at a large scale, it does not work. Well, I'm doing it with alchemy now. This is my alchemy one at the moment, which I'm sort of putting together. But at the moment, this has only got the base values in, so it's not taking into account multi-craft and resourcefulness. But that's what I'm working towards. Obviously, including making it so it takes everything into account completely. Because, I mean, as you guys probably know by now, I don't like relying on crafting because it only gives you a snapshot of how much profit you're actually making at that time when you're looking at crafting. And obviously, that's going to change in 5 minutes because that's just the nature of how the markets work. Come on. Simple refresh worked for me. What for the feedback? Maybe it weren't an issue. Maybe it wasn't an issue on my end then. There might be a concentration build for tempered potions. I mean, yeah, you can use your concentration on tempered potions. It's probably not a terrible idea. But it's whether it'll earn you more than flasks. I think rank 3 flasks have got more of a demand, haven't they, than rank 3 potions. No more echo for me. Yeah, that's good. I mostly disenchant the blue tailoring braces, but the profit is really bad at the moment. Yeah. Personally, I've been doing quite well off disenchanting. I went in on it for the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. I finally picked a profession and went for disenchanting and shattering. And it's doing quite well for me. Well, it was doing quite well for me, but I'm tending to find that the Dark Moon decks are the best shuffle. But it depends, because somebody actually reset the price on all the decks the other day. On reset day in the US, on Tuesday, someone reset the price of all the decks. Or all the cards for the deck, shall I say. this one. It's gone. And shattering on my realm is a big minus. Well, shattering is region wide because of everything's involved, but shattering isn't as good. It doesn't tend to be as good as the other stuff with disenchanting and stuff like that, simply because it's so easy. Like, you buy 1,000 shards, don't you? You buff yourself, and then you just use them. Takes about, what is it, 13 minutes, I think. So it's perfect for the shatter buff. Whereas obviously disenchanting is a much more a much more work intensive way to make gold. Where's that? There's no such thing as shattering on a realm, it's region wide. Yeah, that. Enchanting dust is down to like 10G on the EU. Yep, and it'll probably get lower as well, unfortunately. Steal that. Get. Thank you. Ninja in and get that. Have that, and I'll have that. Rank 3s are such a money sink, very risky. I was buying Darkmoon trinkets the other day for 50G each, don't tell anybody. Yeah, well, that's the benefits of being on the EU, isn't it? The prices are lower when you're selling, but the prices are lower when you're buying as well. You're not paying like 120G for your Darkmoon decks, which is what we pay on the US. I'm also not going to talk about what buying decks, Darkmoon decks at 50 gold means as well. But some people have figured that one out as well. Go away, go away. I'm not even messing about with dynamites today. I've had so many bad experiences on stream. Yeah, I did this disenchantment with 12k bolts for around 450k and profit like 50k in shards, which took hours. I mean, yeah, passive, but still time used. Yeah. And if you... I don't class disenchanting as really passive gold making. It's... You're still actively doing something. You're still pressing the button, aren't you? It's not like shattering, which is like completely AFK. It's obviously a lot less effort than, say, farming like I'm doing here. But it's still a lot more effort than, you know, clicking shatter every 15 minutes. So you want to be making like at least a sort of some amount of gold from it. But I just simulate everything before I do it. So I've got my disenchanting simulator. And I've got my shatter simulator. That one's not quite finished yet. But you see what I mean there though about the shattering. Like that one's a loss. That one's a loss. That one's a small profit. That's not current numbers because I've not updated the numbers in it. But yeah, basically, you have to run the numbers before you do it. You really do. But if you know what the numbers are and you know the results you're going to get, then then it's not then it's not a bad gold making method whatsoever. But I really do think at this point you really do need to be a blood elf to really be making good gold from it at the moment. Disenchant. They're usually over 100G on most servers on EU, but someone put loads of them up. A couple of servers for 50G, sold a bunch for a few thousand each. It's a silly deed, most of them are. Oh, they're actually selling the decks for that price. I thought you meant buying with the cards. Oh, that's crazy. Who'd be selling decks that cheap? That's just silly. Because they're obviously putting the effort together to put them, they've obviously not farmed everything themselves. They must have bought some of the cards, surely. I think crafting bolts only and not doing the E part is more profit per hour because you don't lose time with disenchanting. Yeah, at least when I did it, it was like 50k an hour. Oh, there's no way crafting bolts is 50k an hour anymore. But you always obviously want to do what's the highest gold per hour, but you get to a point where, yes, crafting bolts is the highest gold per hour, but you can't sell enough bolts to be continuously crafting. So if you want to carry on making gold, then you have to do the second best gold per hour, which might then be, turning some of those into braces and disenchanting them. But obviously, if you don't care, if you're selling enough bolts that you can be continuously crafting, then that's fair enough. You never need to disenchant. Or if you're selling enough bolts that you're just happy just selling bolts and you don't need to be continuously crafting, then that's fine too. Oh no, he's an elite. Don't want an elite. Sit there. When you're going to push updated spreadsheet, I'm in the process of putting absolutely everything on the spreadsheet. Well, not everything, but everything that's region wide on the spreadsheet at the moment. Like hopefully by tomorrow I'll have all the alchemy stuff on there, so it'll probably all the alchemy stuff will go on there tomorrow, or at least the potion stuff. I'll wait till all the alchemy stuff's done. I just don't want to release it in bits and bobs. I'd rather just do loads, and then I'll do either leather working or blacksmithing after that, because I've got crafters to do everything now. I need to finish off inscription, because I didn't do, when I did it before, I didn't put missives and stuff like that on there. All the other region-wide stuff's on there, but not like missives and Bantus runes and stuff like that. And there are other things that I need to put on there as well. But the most recent sheet has got disenchanting on it. I just don't know if it's got shatter on it yet, because you can see I've just not finished it yet. Although it works perfectly fine, it just doesn't look pretty. Would you do more bolts with profit, but not enough acuity for full blue setup on tailoring? Did a lot of unravel. Would you do bolts with profit, but not enough acuity for full blue setup on tailoring? Did a lot of unravel. If something makes profit, just do it. Even if if you're finding you're making profit on it, even if it's not, you're not BIS, you can still make profit on it. You're making profit on it, aren't you? But obviously, at the moment, it's very difficult to find anything that does make a profit that you're not BIS at. Hey K, check how you're playing on the EU or the US. This is all on the US, these ones, but I play on both. Repair your hunter, please. Why? I'm killing like level 50 mobs. He's fine. It's all good. Started making gold with skinning in the beginning of the war within, but that's also not too much anymore on the EU. Well, unfortunately, everything's going to go down on time, and skinning's one of the ones that hits the deck the earliest usually because of the 2x4 farms. But I'm sure you still make a decent gold from it. So you're sort of in a good 2x4. Surely you can still make some decent gold from it. What's the name that shows treasures on the map? I don't think I've got an add-on for that. That's just default. Yeah, there's no on there for that. I am do at making my own spreadsheets. Yeah, well, I'm thinking about doing a video about making spreadsheets as well, so that people can make their own. Because it's not. Oh no, I'm not doing that. It's not a particularly complicated process. It's just an expensive process, and it can cost you a lot of gold to get the data sometimes. If you craft, I mean, obviously, if you're crafting at a profit, it's fine. You can get your data. Oh God, you can get your data, while you're making gold. But a lot of the time, you lose gold while you're getting data. Oh God, I'm right behind someone. I'm not even going to run for that next one because I'm just going to get annoyed out. Go backwards and get that one that's just spawned. No idea. I wasn't going to question it. Lol. Yeah, well, I've had it before where you find stuff that's stupidly cheap. You're just like, I don't care. I'm just taking it. Maybe you just wanted rid. But if it's free gold for you, it's free gold for you, isn't it? My second account pretty much just crafts rank 3 exquisite bolts all day long. Ruffle. Yay. The thing is, if you've got a decent setup, then it seems to be profitable like nearly all the time. It's hard for them not to be profitable, even if you're not doing the disenchanting yourself. If you're only doing the tailoring, I'm that one already, aren't I? Even if you're just doing the tailoring bits, there's so many stages to make an exquisite weaver cloth bolts that if you miss all of them, it's hard by the time you get to the end for it to not be profitable. Where are you going? Down here. Spreadsheet video would be great. Yeah, it's on the to-do list along with everything else. I did 200 crafted tempered potions just now and made 6k. I mean, that's probably another thing as well, though, isn't it? Just to craft in sort of relatively small quantities and sell quickly before prices go down. Hi there. Hi, Ramana Cat. Oh, I've got no idea how to pronounce that. But hey, is there a reason you're doing mining herb in Hallowfall? Just because it's a dead easy route, just round there. I'm only doing it to get the professional knowledge. I'm not particularly doing it to make gold. I'm just trying to keep this character up to date with knowledge. So I just make sure I do the weekly stuff every week. Although I think I've got enough, nearly got enough artisan security to get his last two. I've got all of those. The last two from herbalism, so I need to get those two crafted as well, really, at some point. I tried looking for a guide on making a spreadsheet. There were a couple of not very good, but it's a very nice idea, but it would be evergreen content for gold making. Yeah, it would be. Because obviously there are a few out there that you can get for free, and some of them are really good. But at the same time, you're also at the mercy of waiting for somebody else to do it for you. It's like even the patrons have to sit and wait for me to get the data on all the stuff. So if there's something in particular they want, then obviously it's easier if they can do it themselves. Not have to wait for me to do everything. Oh no, that's not good. This isn't good. All right. Oh no, I have echo for some reason. Why are we getting echo? Right. Right. So how do we kick this guy? Because I'm not used to Twitch, am I? Click on his name and ban. Oh no, don't make him a mod. Ban, there we go. Yeah, thank you. He's gone. Gave him moderation privileges. That's a good idea. Mod them, yeah. Wrong button. To be fair, it doesn't actually tell you what the buttons do, so I was just clicking stuff. Yeah, modded the guy who's coming to sell viewers. Right, Miles behind in chat on. Can't still work out why I can't make them. I am 13 skills short of rank 3 exquisite bolts. Can't see. I'll tell you what then. You're 13 skills short. So obviously you need all these. These need to all be upgraded. You need 100 skills. So your skills should be 100 plus 40. And then you just need these two. That's unraveling that one, isn't it? So you only need. Is it this one you just need? It's been so long. So this one you need maxed out, yeah. And that's it because there's no plus skill over here. But obviously you need both of these maxed out to be competitive at all. But I think that's the only one you need for skill. This is more quality fabric. We could have just looked on here, couldn't we? So that's going to give you resourcefulness. Oh no! So you do get some from weaving unraveling as well. It's been so long since I've done this. I've not had to think about it. Right, so you've done unraveling. switch over to multicraft. Making some bolts. Why is one of the characters not under the Weaver's buff, crafting speed buff? Because this character is on the PTR. See this? It means on the PTR. I'm doing some testing on some crafting, basically. Without it costing me loads of gold. So yeah, it's a little bit slower, but it's saving me, you know, a huge amount of gold to do it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this echo. I don't know why it keeps coming and going because there's literally nothing's changing this end. Do you update the auction house prices manually in your sheets, or do you have something like a script to do it? I know it's possible. I've never tried it. You can sort of, with Auctionate, you can sort of copy prices across and stuff like that, but it's not fantastic because, say, for example, you want to craft 10,000 healing potions or do 10,000 crafts of healing potions, then you need, what, 60,000 microbloom. So you need to know what the average price of 60,000 is. And a lot of the time, I've not found a way to reliably do that. And if you just take the price of the bottom price, the bottom herb, even ignoring bait auctions, which really mess it up, but even if you reliably know what the cheapest one is, then it's not an average for the 60,000 cheapest on the auction house, if you get me. If there was a way of doing it, I'd happily take it. But that's why I manually insert my stuff on the onto the spreadsheet. I think it's when you lean back. Right. Let's sit more forward then, shall we? So if you want to craft rank 3, you need to put rank 3 Stormdust price into rank 1. Yeah, I mean, if you're crafting rank 3 stuff, you need all rank 3 stuff. Hey mate, you seem to get the echo when you get... Yeah. I've got it, guys. Tell you what, I can't move the mic any closer. But it shouldn't be an issue anyway. I'll just stop leaning back. I'll say that, but I'll forget in 5 minutes. But right, where's this all? Come on. Oh, God, I'm useless at this sort of stuff. Where is the cat's best farmer ever? I don't know where they are, to be honest. She'll be here, or they'll be here soon. They're being suspiciously quiet. Oh, one of them's asleep in her little bed thing. Don't worry, she'll be up soon to terrorise us again and start attacking the camera. No, I mean, on your spreadsheet, you have all Stormdust ranks, but you have to put the rank 3 Stormdust price in the rank 1 tab for it to calculate bulk price. On material... Oh, yeah. Yeah, do you know why that is? It's because the tailoring one's really old. And I've just updated it to have all the disenchanting information. Obviously, I've not... Obviously, I've not updated the tailoring one to the fact that I've got new Stormdust and Gleaming Shards. Yeah, I need to look at that. Thank you. I'd completely forgotten about that. because I try not to use multiple ranks on there unless I have to, but because you disenchant it and get different ranks and stuff like that, then I needed to add them on. But obviously I forgot that tailoring stuff's using Storm Dust. Yeah, thank you. That's important. That needs looking at. I might have to just manually add it on the tailoring sheet, and it just use whatever you put in on the tailoring sheet rather than put it on the materials page, potentially, or something like that. Are you using Restream by any chance? Yes, I'm using Restream. And you're going to tell me it's terrible, aren't you? It was the first thing I could get that would work. Oh, I'm not doing any dynamite stuff. There was some plugins and stuff for OBS where we could do it as well, but I couldn't really get it working, to be honest. I went heavy into gold making at the early part of the expansion. Now with Mythic Progress and Plus, it's all downhill with the gold I made. Yeah, well, you did it the right way round at least anyway. Because a lot of people do it the other way around. They play the expansion, and then they come like 2 months later and then they want to make gold. At least you can usually make enough gold at the start of the expansion if you do well to last you the whole expansion. But if you come in 2 months later, then, you know, it's... Pickings are a bit more slim, aren't they? Is that cheat sheet public? I'm afraid not. Would be very confusing for new people. I forgot all about it when I was thinking I was making more profit than I was. Yeah, yeah, completely overlooked on my behalf that I'd added the extra layers of the extra storm dusts and stuff in. But yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I can sort that out then. And now you've said that as well, I'll remember that for future as well, because obviously when you change certain materials, it's going to have a knock-on effect elsewhere on the sheet as well, isn't it? But there's certain things that, yeah, we do need all the ranks on there, unfortunately. No, go away, go away, go away. I forgot all about it when I was thinking I was making more profit than I was. Yeah. Well, I mean, luckily I just did my calculations as crafting with actually crafting with rank 1 dust. I wouldn't have even thought about it. But on some of the other sheets, like on the alchemy one here, obviously this isn't finished yet, but the cost per vial I've had to put up here. And with the alchemy one, because you're we don't need the separate ranks at the moment for all the different herbs and stuff like that. Crap. That was good. Oh, should we actually just kill somebody? I don't even know if I can kill anybody on this guy. Oh, look how bad that gear is. This guy's like a raid boss. Oh no, let's just get out of here. But yeah, I'll sort it. But like I said, I want to get everything on there. Everything, every profession. went heavy with gear crafting, made like 10 million now. Yeah. I tried a bit of gear crafting right at the start with some blacksmithing, but it didn't really work out, to be honest. Stuff just wasn't selling as fast as I wanted it to. I will reference the legend Jose. I prefer not to speak. You might call him a legend, but that's because of the team you support. Yeah, I tell my buddy who's broke just to start picking flowers and mine as a start, then do something with the materials you pick in order to maximize the profits. Yeah. But if he's not like a perfect crafter, then he's going to be better off just selling the materials. Or if he's not a good crafter, should I say. Like if he doesn't really know what he's doing with professions, he's probably just better off selling the stuff. Because he probably will make more money from it. In that particular situation. Oh, there we go. There's the epic flower. Although I do have some catch up to get as well that I really need to get farmed. How do you mine so fast? It's because I'm a what do you call it? One of these high mountain, so they mine faster. I push into Mythic Plus hard so I can sell carries when prices are good, then move into other areas when it cools down. Yeah, I mean, at the start of expansion, carries are crazy, aren't they? Although I imagine it, Mythic Plus carries and stuff like that, similar to sort of gold making, isn't it? So as Mythic Plus carries are getting less and less profitable, so are professions generally. Right, are we going to make a decision on where to spend these now? Damage taken from dislodged dynamite is significantly less lethal. What about herbalism? Well, it looks like I decided to go down here. Although I have capped. Should probably have gone for here first, to be honest. For the plus skill, but there is a load of finesse here, so yeah, whatever. I don't know if it's the right answer. That'll do. With trauma, herb, dual crafting herb, alchemy inscription in a third character, I feel very good. I can say you can refine herbs from level 2, level 3 and 2 windows for maximum profit in alchemy inscription. Every layer I'm saving for myself 5% with just not selling and recrafting it into something I craft with. Yeah. I've had a few people since I put that video out about refining saying, look, the idea of refining isn't refining to sell, although you can make gold from that. It's very, you're very, very much reliant on the markets. But when you're refining to make your own rank 3 herbs, that is something that definitely helps make you more gold. And like I said, I've had a few people messaging me saying that they've made, quite a lot of gold from that particular thing. Thanks. Are you going to sell all the potions tonight or rather at the weekend? These aren't going to sell. These are going to get vended in a minute because this is just PTR. We're just crafting for numbers. So I've done 10,000 crafts and I just want to see how many potions I get from it. And I'll probably do this 10,000 crafts a few times just to get some information for the sheet, basically. Where's this going? And I'll just ninja behind you and steal those then. Going to be awkward. How much is skinning at the moment on wolves with optimal group? Absolutely no idea. Because I never group farm. Or very rarely do anything like that. I'm sure someone in chat can give you an approximate answer though. If only refining was not slow, takes so long. Yeah, but if you have a finesse build, then refining is basically instant, isn't it? It takes literally no time whatsoever to refine if you've got a finesse build. Not finesse. Is it finesse? I can't even remember now. The other one, not finesse. Was it finesse? I can't even remember now. It's so long ago since I did that video. There is a build. 2 seconds. I'm just finding the video.
Hey kids, what do you call the Nord?
Oh no, get rid of that. Don't want any of that. Yeah, so this is the video I did about refining speed. Refining go crazy blur. So that's normal refining speed. And this is like ridiculous refining speed. And it goes absolutely crazy. It's just like, it's instant, like every second, even less than that. You can see how fast the herbs are going down. And you can also move. So it must be literally instant because it's letting you move while you're doing it as well. 2 weeks ago I did that video, so you can look at that if you want. I can't remember a lot of it now though, because I've not really touched any refining since then. Deafness, yes, that's it. Deafness, sorry, not finesse. Thank you. I knew it wasn't finesse because finesse was the thingy one. So deafness is the gathering speed one, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. This guy's pots run out. I'm I'm going to run out of space for crafting these, aren't I? By the looks of it. Yeah, guys, don't go copying this. Like, crafting tens of thousands of rank 2 healing potions is not, you know, a sensible thing to be doing, generally speaking. Do you see any potential vendor shuffle, or is it too early? I think it's going to be more difficult this expansion because the prices aren't going down so much. As in, the prices of things aren't getting ridiculously dirt low, because when they do, people are just shuffling those items with formatology, aren't they? Into like herbs and stuff. So it's sort of artificially keeping the prices higher, which means less likely for vendor shuffles to become a thing. So it used to be that like all the leathers and stuff, wasn't it? Generally speaking, leathers or cloth from the 2x4 farms would end up in some sort of vendor shuffle. But you're probably not going to see that this expansion. I'll go watch video again. Yeah, it's, if you want to speed up your refining, that definitely makes a difference. And to be fair, all you really need to do it is the deafness tool with a deafness enchant. That enough will do it. It definitely takes the it definitely gets rid of the worst part of refining, which is how slow it is. The echo seems to happen when you switch to the big screen. And it stayed this time. I honestly do not know what the issue is. It's not something I'm probably going to be able to sort out now, unfortunately. Just give it 60 seconds and see if it's still an issue again. Obviously, it's something I need to sort out long term. Still there? Is the echo still there? Or has it settled down again? Echo's still there. I've baffled. It just went away. I haven't got a clue. I moved the mic very slightly. Better now. Good. Don't know what to say. I watched the I'll watch it back afterwards and have a listen myself as well. I could understand if it was causing an issue when I was leaning back. Sounds like a cable issue. It's pretty decent in there. If it happens again, I'm going to go around the back of the PC and have a look run. But I don't want to go digging around the back of my PC for... That's what you guys are complaining about 2K checks for price. Because I really, really don't want to play around with all that in the stream. I'm definitely going to kill something. Like a wire issue could potentially be a wire issue just because. Oh no, I've seen what the issue is. Oh, go! It should go away now. Issue's sorted. Right. Can I just delete that? Why is that even on there? That's stupid. Yeah, it took me about. Yeah, I've seen what the issue is. It's OBS. For some reason, it's duplicated my streaming mic. So I'm surprised it wasn't doing it all the time, to be honest. I've turned that off now. I need to delete that because we can't have that becoming an issue again. But I'll play around with it later. OBS does do some funky things for me sometimes, right? So we've got 22,000 of these, so we probably need what, about 18,000 of these, something like that. Okay, now it's gone. Yeah, it shouldn't come back. It's just that it was broadcasting the mic twice for some weird reason. I don't know why it's done that. Right, you can. You're crafting. Wrong thing. Oh, don't tell me we're crashing now. What's your plan for the bolts? They're going to be exquisite weaver cloth bolts when we're done. And yeah, I will sort something out to do this manually, do this automatically instead of doing this manually every time I come on stream one day. Yeah, I'm just turning them into exquisite weaver cloth bolts, basically. It's not the most insane gold ever, but it's still gold. Right. Back to it. Yeah, like we were saying earlier, we was talking about exquisite weaver cloth bolts earlier as well. It's really hard if you've got a perfect setup to not make gold from them just because you're having to go through so many processes to get to a point where you are actually selling them. No. Now YouTube's moaning today. We're not having much luck with technical problems today, are we? But it's only YouTube that's moaning, not Twitch. Oddly enough. Cannot wait for my new CPU, so I don't think my PC is going to explode every time I do more than one WoW crafting at a time. Yeah. But apparently they're sorting that out, aren't they? I'm sure I read somewhere that they're sorting the crafting issue out next patch. So hopefully it won't be an issue anymore for any of us, no matter how many accounts we're doing. Ingenuity or resourcefulness for enchant concentration build. I mean, I tend to prefer ingenuity, but we might be getting to a point now where profit margins are so low that resourcefulness might be getting close. But I've not looked at it for a while, so I still assume that ingenuity is the best. At least if you've got the full setup, it definitely is anyway. When you're shattering and getting 100% of your ingenuity back. %100% of your concentration back, I mean, sorry. I was wondering, if you happen to stop crafting all that you craft, how big of a supply loss would there be on either NA or EU? Well, if I stopped doing it, there wouldn't be any difference whatsoever. If everyone stopped, then obviously you're going to have a huge supply issue. The thing is, as soon as one person stops, even if they're producing a huge portion of the market, then the price will go up, so other people will do it. The market always sorts itself out. When you copy to PTR, did it take your warband bank at all? I'm not actually sure. Should we have a quick look? Need to get rid of some of these potions anyway. Somewhere. Oh, no, I can't bother to go and have a look. Let's do it with this. It's going to let me. No, it doesn't, because I've not even got a warband bank. That answers that question. Actually, let's get rid of some of these. So I've got a bit more space. How many more of these do I have to craft? I've only crafted 3,000. I'm going to need loads more space. Oh, not that. Soulbound anyway, that one. Yeah, it's probably going to be like 3 inventories fulls worth of stuff. Right, get back to crafting. Where's your... What you found in the top right hand corner, the Dr. Weevil toy, yeah, like mentioned, farming this. I just like it because it's an AFK farm where you just kill the mob like every 6 minutes or something. It's easy. Hey K-Chak, thanks for the great content. Is there an add-on that shows total craft time? This add-on here, nah, can't remember what it's called. Because it slipped my head. Mass salvage assist. That shows you total craft time. Takes a second sometimes just to calculate. And then once it's up, eventually, 20 minutes. There you go. Have you found any gold making opportunities on the upcoming 11.0.7 patch? I've not really looked at any of it, to be honest. I've not been on the new island or anything yet. But there didn't seem to be like anything significant that was changing as far as profession's concerned. There'll always be stuff to sell. There'll be pets to farm and all that sort of stuff. There always is, but I don't expect anything significantly to change with professions until the next major patch, till next season, basically. But it is something I would probably check out a bit, maybe a couple of weeks before it releases, so you know everything's in the game then. And talking about getting hot and cold in the UK, now it's turned freezing. Good morning. Just wanted to wish you an amazing morning. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. How's it going for you? You having a good morning too? And thanks for popping along. Doing quite well today. Or what if I could get the rest of this mining catch-up knowledge anyway? How many more do we need? We need 3 more herbalism, 2 more mining. And then once that's done, we might look at getting another crafter going. This. Well, that said up. Oh no, it says down. I have yet to start professions for the war within. Do you recommend starting with an army of enchanting tailoring, or is there a better pair of professions? Probably wouldn't. Enchanting's like the default easy one. I would probably, if you've got an alt army, then that's probably the one to set up first before anything else. Tailoring's not so good at the moment. But enchanting definitely seems to be the best, even though it is a bit saturated, should we say. So if I was setting up an alt army, I would just get enchanting on everything first at the moment, and once that's set up, then worry about something else. But I really need to go back and look at what the best concentration builds are out there at the moment. Actually, I think that's the next video. I know I've said it for a while, but that is the next video. The best concentration builds around at the moment. Because things have changed a lot since I did all the original videos. I'm sitting on about 10 level 7 to 10 level 80s and 40 level 70s. That's a lot of characters. It's a pity you didn't have them set up a couple of months ago. You'd be like in the tens of millions by now. The Depths Enchant is only 1k profit with rank 2 mats with concentration. Well, I'll have a look through everything. Like, I'll look through every single enchant. And probably like pretty much everything on every profession to see what's doing well, what's not doing well. Because it's possible enchanting may have been replaced as the best concentration build on the quiet, because no one's really made any new concentration build videos for a while. I regretted not getting in sooner, but the longer I wait, the more gold lost. Yeah, and the problem is, like, this concentration thing's a new thing, and it was really expensive to get set up right at the start of the expansion. It was literally hundreds of thousands of gold. For some professions, like enchanting was so expensive in the first couple of days of the expansion. Even just leveling it up with the cheap stuff, but then you're just making 100,000 gold every time you use your concentration. It was just absolutely nuts. And the stuff was selling. But it's hard to commit that amount of gold not knowing what the results are going to be. Because this concentration thing was all new at the start of the expansion, and then obviously as time goes on, it costs less to set up, but the amount of gold you're making from it is less as well. And like you said, you could have been making gold all along. I got a rare neck from Raid Tuesday night. Someone offered me 1 million gold for it now, so I have some startup funds. I mean, the actual cost to set up enchanting now, I imagine is quite cheap, but I don't know if I would bother going with a full build now. There's basically two ways you can do it. You can just get it where you just get basically 25 enchanting skill and a few knowledge points and just do like a really basic build with that, which takes literally like no time to set up. Or there's the more in-depth build where you sort of put a bit more effort into your character and get a bit more knowledge. It is better, but at the same time, is it worth putting that much effort in at the moment? Well, that's hopefully what I'll look at that next video, that concentration build video. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'll do tonight. When we finish this stream, I'll have tea and I'm going to look at all the concentration build videos. See See what's doing well. I was thinking basic build just so I can mirror it over the army. Yeah, so you can. Yeah, you just get 25 enchanting skill then, and you can either disenchant or shatter or whatever to get to 25 skill. Collect the profession treasures. Maybe do a little bit of disenchanting to get a bit of knowledge, and that's all you need really. And if you've got a lot of characters to set up like you have, then it's best to have something that's quicker to set up anyway, isn't it? But just see what sort of profit margins you can get. Because obviously it depends if you're on the EU and the US as well. Full build with catch up was around 35k last night on EU. That sounds like I thought it would not cost that much, to be honest. Especially on the EU, I thought it'd be cheaper than that. Is that for a rank 5 rod though? Or have you gone for a cheapo rod? Because I probably would never bother. Even when it was really good, I probably would not have bothered with a rank 5 rod. I'd have just got a rank 4 because it makes it significantly cheaper. And if I was going to enchant it, I'd only give it a rank 2 enchant as well because that's significantly cheaper. Or it was, it was a while ago. It's not so much of an issue anymore. Go away. Make sure you do your weekly enchanting quest and use Dark Moon Dex to catch up knowledge. Drops 100% per disenchant. Yeah. But you don't need to get all the profession knowledge. So I did it yesterday for another character and got about 170 profession knowledge. You don't need that for a concentration ult. Like, especially if you're going with basic build. Is it worth min-maxing a few characters, or would it be better to do the bare minimum or not on knowledge tools on more characters? If it was me, if I had like 50 characters that I was going to set up, I would do the basic build on 50 characters first. And then if I wanted to do more on the characters, then you can do that once you set up, can't you? You just put a bit more effort into the characters later on. But I would get as many set up as possible. And basically that would be my priority. Because then you're just making gold, aren't you? But obviously it would have been nice to get it all set up, a long time ago. Because those margins on the enchanting is definitely getting lower now. And I've got a feeling if I really look around, I'm going to find stuff that's better than enchanting. But it's also stuff that, if I find one that's better than enchanting, it's not going to be something that's in demand as an enchanting, probably. Because I know when I did the engineering and stuff like that, there was some bits on there that had a really high rate of return for your concentration. But things that if everyone did it, it would have just been saturated and not be worth anywhere near as much. You have to do the weekly quest before you're eligible to get catch-up points. Don't forget that. Yeah, that as well. The weekly quest, the 2 treasures, and then you just disenchant. Disenchant to get your 5 blue items and your purple item, and then you can get the catch-up knowledge. But I think when I did the original video for enchanting concentration builds, I don't think I even used the catch-up at all, because I don't think we even really knew about it then. You need to do the weekly treasures as well before getting the catch-up knowledge points. Yeah. You do. Yeah, you do. 100% you do. You can even, if you use the weak aura as well, the weak aura actually tells you what you need to do, or sort of tells you what you need to do, but Shimmering Dust turns green on the weak aura when you're eligible for the catch-up knowledge, the Shimmering Dust. The one I hear no one mention is level working. Usually the 2 that don't get brought up are level working and jewel crafting. It's funny you say that, because I just set up a level worker yesterday, or the last couple of weeks I've been setting it up, but it literally just got all sorted yesterday. And it's got nearly 160 knowledge now after sort of just 2 weeks. Really fast to get knowledge and art and acuity now compared to what it was before. And that's basically the video I've got coming out tomorrow is basically talking about that, about the profession catch up and stuff like that. Because when I tried it out, it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I don't hear anybody talking about level working either. But now that I've got this character, it's one of the other things I'm going to be obviously trying everything out for. But level working is really it has a really low barrier to entry compared to most. Thank you very much. I'm doing many dual crafting alts right now, as it's really simple and cheap to set up. I just think it's kind of expensive to always get the catch-up stuff via work orders. Yeah, but you probably don't need any or hardly any catch-up knowledge. It depends what you're doing with your builds. But if you're just going for basic builds, then you probably don't need... I think actually... You know what? Probably... So you think about it. So things like enchants and stuff like that, there's just going to be more and more and more of them going into the market. So the only way you're going to get... like by the time the next season comes out, the market's just going to be saturated. Yeah, there's going to be loads that sell. The price will go up and stuff like that. But there's going to be so many in the market by then, and so many people are going to save so many. So what you need is you need stuff on your concentration builds that new things are coming into the game, because when the season starts, there's not going to be, that stuff's not going to be around anymore. So and there's some stuff that you are guaranteed, some concentration builds you are guaranteed that you basically get a reset every season. So I would say, if I was setting up builds now when profit margins are crap, I would probably go with quite a few Vantus Room builds maybe. Because you know the market's not going to be saturated with rank 3 stuff And it's possible with contracts as well. Do you know if there's a new reputation that comes out and a new contract that comes as well? That's going to be another one that's going to sort of be a concentration build that's going to work really well. So yeah, I think Fantasy's probably not doing fantastic at the moment, but you think they've surely got to do well. It depends, obviously, how much the crafting cost comes down generally. Because if it gets too cheap to make rank 3 Vantas, because the materials come down so much in price, then the profit margins aren't really there as much. But anything where you're getting a sort of a mini reset, on the price of some things, obviously going to be a nice target for concentration builds. I mean, it's a nice target for anything, but concentration builds in particular. Enchanting catch-up is way too easy compared to other professions. I think that's the main reason why the prices drop so fast. Well, I think it's just there's so many people doing the enchanting concentration builds, isn't there? Like every time I do a video on it, it gets like, tens of thousands of views, and I'm not the only one doing videos on them as well. Obviously, because they were at the start, they were absolutely ridiculous. And even when I did that first, well, it wasn't even the first one. So I did the first video before on enchanting concentration before the expansion even released, and the guys that watched me before the expansion released and followed that made some absolutely ridiculous amounts of gold. And then when I made the second video, which was after the expansion was out, when it was like, at that point it was like 10k profit per use of concentration. That's when loads of people started doing it, and that's when prices really started coming down. And that's why I'm slightly concerned about enchanting concentration, just because the amount of people that are doing it now, and demand's just going to keep going lower and lower, but the supply into the market's going to stay roughly the same. Obviously, when the new season comes in, demand is going to go up more, but is it going to go up enough that it's going to sort of clear out that supply, that sort of backlog of supply that we're going to have? Almost all my characters have enchanting plus something I wanted on that character. Just can't be bothered to getting RT and QT via mining and herbalism because that can be too time consuming. It's not worth it anymore. Even setting up a regular normal crafter, you don't need to do it anymore. So that level worker I've just set up, all I did was the enchanting catch up, and that gave me enough arts and security to buy all the that plus a couple of weeks of patron orders on level working, and that gave me enough arts and security to get all the free profession books, the 200, 300, and 400 knowledge profession books, and to buy all my profession gear and my profession bag. So you don't need to do the mining and herbalism anymore. Obviously, when I released that video, at that point it was a it was something that you sort of needed to do then if you wanted to max out a profession quickly. But it's not so much a thing anymore. But I think I am going to go with this one. Any point buying the 600 artisan boxes? Well, personally, first I would buy recipes, on my characters, and then if you've got nothing else to spend them on, then sure, you're going to make something from it at least, aren't you? I mean, I know the recipes and stuff aren't selling for what they used to, but it's still gold if you do get something, isn't it? Oh man, Blizzard will see your video and nerf catch up again. We are screwed, lol. I don't think they'll change anything because it's just if they were going to change it, they'd have changed it ages ago, wouldn't they? I think they're quite happy for people to get involved in crafting now. They don't care about putting the barriers in. If they were going to change anything, they would have changed the Artisan Security Shuffle when I released the first video. Because at that point, I released that first video before the reset, and it was really obvious what was going to happen with the patron orders across every profession and stuff like that. Once the weekly reset came around and patron orders got put into the game, or patron orders for Artisan Security got put into the game at least anyway. But they didn't change anything, so they're not that bothered about you doing sort of, mildly dodgy stuff. I'm trying to rush 100 KP. The rest is acuity farming for tools, but I think it's not worth. Haha. No, I want farm for the acuity. Like I said, all I did, just did the and I mean you'll see it on the video tomorrow anyway, because yeah, that'll be out tomorrow. But like I said, I did Gleeful Glamours. I did that as well because that's quick and easy as well. The Gleeful Glamours mini shuffle and the Dark Moon Fair deck shuffle and a couple of weeks of patron orders, and I could afford everything easily. No mining, no herbing, no skinning. Yes, but you basically end up with one profession per character then, which for me is perfectly fine, and hence why I don't do it. Yeah, I mean, you've got to feel sorry for people that, had two professions on characters that they had going for years and they didn't want to drop. But, it's just the way it is, unfortunately. We're going. Not had a single one of these today, have I? Don't have much luck with those drops on stream. Do you think we will reach a point this season where concentration crafting will be barely profitable because it produces enough supply? I mean, like we seem to be sort of edging towards that, don't we? At least on enchanting anyway. But the seasons are sort of quicker now than they sort of ever have been before. So what is it? Is it like 8 weeks between patches now? And we've got the next patch coming, what, in 3 weeks? Something like that, 3 weeks, I think it is. Maybe 4 weeks. what did it say, 17th of December? 1, 2. Yeah, 4 weeks. So you've got to say it's probably 12 weeks then till season 2. So obviously the prices have gone down a lot, but they are still, I don't know, I think it'll probably, the profit might get negligible. But you'd hope when the new season comes around that it will just clear up some of the backlog of stock. Because that's the thing about this concentration crafting. It's limited supply, isn't it? So even though there's a lot of people that are running it, if there is suddenly a massive demand, then it can potentially sort of really push prices up. Just because of the fact that it's limited on how much you can produce. Oh, why are you looking out? I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. It's all new, isn't it? It's all new and it's all new and different. Oh, we did that one already, didn't we? I have all recipes. Maybe wait for next patch to get rare recipe. I mean, if anything new comes out, then obviously, like if they bring a new enchant or anything like that out, then that'll definitely be worth going for, depending on how hard it is to get. You know, if it's like a dropped enchant or something like that, that will definitely be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be just going to be interesting to see how the whole concentration system works out over the course of the expansion when we do get that big bump in demand. Because it's not like with potions and flasks, whereby yeah, we get this big bump in demand, but people can just craft more. People will craft more concentration, but there's only so much concentration going around. So you'd think that increase in demand for a new season would have more of an effect on the price than something that can just be mass produced. Do I need to do delves to find treasures? No, you just fly around the world. Like the wax and any of the world treasures and stuff like that. This thing up here, Lost Memento, that'll probably get you it. Is it? Or is that an actual? No, that's like a proper treasure thing. But I mean, like, yeah, just fly around the zone basically. Do what? Collect the wax, collect the dirt piles, collect the treasure chests basically. Sometimes you'll get 2 almost instantly. Sometimes it can take an hour. A full profession shuffle without gathering professions got me around 1,800 arts and security the other day. It took me an hour and around 60k gold. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and that's it, your profession's set up then, isn't it? There's no you can do about the gold cost because you need all the Dark Moon decks and stuff like that, but you can make some gold back from it as well, from selling the crystals and stuff as well. So it's not like it's a complete loss. Best profession at the moment, I have engineering, but the profit is 6 gold per craft. Is there any profession which have more per craft? Probably you're not probably going to get fantastic profit margins anywhere, unfortunately, at the moment. The best philosophy to go with at the moment is probably just find something that does craft for a profit and just sell a lot of it. Because if there was something that had fantastic profit margins on, unfortunately, everyone would be doing it. So everyone's working on like 5 to 10% profit margins, really, at most. Hey mate, really interested in the tailoring enchanting shuffle you posted about the other day. How much do you find the gold to hour end up being on that? I've got no idea, to be honest, because I wasn't really timing it. Like, I know it's a time consuming process, but when I'm crafting, I'm not so bothered about the gold per hour. If I'm actively doing something, so if I'm farming, if I'm shuffling, so if I'm doing a disenchanting or something like that, so anytime I'm spending disenchanting, then I care about the gold per hour. But when I'm just crafting bolts or something like that, even if I'm only making like 10 to 20k gold an hour, I'm fairly happy with that. Which is why I don't track it, because that's just mostly it's mostly just time you spent crafting. So no, I didn't track the gold per hour, unfortunately. Right. So we need about 2,600 stone dust. I'm only putting this into exquisite weaver cloth bolts, though. I'm not going any further with this. I'm not disenchanting on stream or anything like that because it takes ages. I did level work in tailoring, blacksmith, inscription, and alchemy crafting orders, though. Inscription first for the treatise. That's where most of the 60k went. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to rush a profession and get it done today, then obviously it takes a bit more effort. But there's just like, if you have enchanting and whatever profession you're trying to do, just getting to 25 profession skill, obviously doing the Gleeful Glamours shuffle, and then on top of that, you can do the Gleeful Glamour patron orders from enchanting as well. And that's going to get you sort of like, I think it got me like 60 arts and acuity a week, approximately 50 to 60. So if you're willing to do things just a little bit slower, then it's probably even more efficient on your time and probably cheaper as well. Because the catch-up knowledge, if you're trying to get a new profession, you're trying to do the catch-up knowledge as well, you get about 3 a day just from that. So you need to be logging in every day. And you probably need some of that. You probably need a week or two's catch-up knowledge anyway to get where you want to be with your crafting, even with all the other sources of knowledge you're going to have. Grab that. Can I steal that? Pop a quick hands. And can you? Yes, of course, I just wanted to settle my dual craft and be done with it. I needed art and security for all the books, blue equipment and double tools, yeah. But I was setting up a couple of crafters, and I wasn't particularly setting them because I was going to use them for gold making as such, although obviously if there is anything good I will do. They were mostly just getting set up so I could do sort of content creation stuff, so I wasn't in a rush to get them up. So that blacksmith and that leather worker that I did, like I said, I just did it over 2 weeks, and it was sort of really low effort and very easy to get up now. Like I think back to when I did the mining and herbalism shuffle before, and the amount of time that took, compared to what I did with these 2 latest professions, is just, so it's just crazy. And I think the amount of knowledge you get from the flickers, from the patron orders as well, is sort of people underestimate how much you get. Like I said, you get like 20 a week, which really adds up because you get them every single day. Yeah, but basically that's all I'm talking about in the video that's coming tomorrow anyway. Oh no, no chance. Right. Taking me ages to get this last 2 catch up for Weevil's up. I mean, I know it's only herbalism I want, but you know what? Didn't only just forget that. I forgot True Sight as well. Come on, don't dismount me. Thank you. What's that hiding? Like these camouflage nodes that you can barely see, on top of having a tiny screen, definitely not good for my eyes. What's the flask you're using on the tailor? It's File of Quick Hands. It says crafting speed increased by 30% for Dragon Owl's recipes, but it works for War Within stuff as well. And it basically costs hardly anything. What's the cost of it? Yeah, like 14 gold. So it's well worth the price. So that combined with the Weaver's buff plus your profession gear can usually get you to the 75% crafting speed cap, which is nice, at least for now anyway. While we can use that file, we won't be using that file soon because we'll switch over to the file of Bountiful Seasons. What's the reason for doing the mine herb? Literally, this is basically just my mining herbalism character, and I just keep the knowledge up to date. I do it sometimes a little bit, but it's more for if I want to do any mining and herbalism content. Like I did a video, didn't I, the other week, just testing out all the mining and herbalism routes that some people have talked about on the Discord, just to see how they worked, if they were any good. But obviously, you can't test any of that stuff if you've not got the character to do it. And now I'm really regretting, because I gave up on my mining and herbalism character in Dragonflight. I just stopped doing it. I'm regretting that now, because obviously mining and herbalism in Dragonflight is become a thing now, or mining at least anyway, because the price on the ores from Dragonflights, it's really nice. And using War Within tools, it's a bit crazy sometimes. But I can't test it out because I didn't keep my character up to date. So yeah, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to keep this up to date. I'll try to. I've legit been tempted to reset quick hands so many times, but my brain tells me not to. What would it cost you? This is on the US at least, anyway. Oh, I don't know. That is a lot to sell. That is a lot of files to clear back out. I mean, I'm sure you could sell them fine for 100G each and people would buy them. Maybe even higher. You don't even necessarily have to sell them all, but it's a bigger investment than I would like to have done. Yeah, I know this guy's out as well now. I can't believe that guy's been crafting for 2 hours and he's only done half of them. It's going to take me ages to get these numbers for the sheet. What people are doing with Dragonflight, or I know Ceravite bolts, but that's it. I mean, Ceravite bolts or greased gears, basically. And it's getting used for the engineering stuff. But price on it, I mean, before, I assume the price has gone down a bit now, but before they were nuts. How do you spell it? Yeah, look, 25 gold each on the ore. And that's like 11 gold each. So you compare that to current expansion. So the Ceravite ore is more expensive than anything but like the rank 1, rank 2 of the uncommon ore. Only the rank 3 uncommon ore or bismuth is more expensive than Ceravite. And draconium ore, the only thing more expensive than draconium ore is rank 3 bismuth. Well, you've got to remember you can get huge quantities of Dragonflight ore, because if you're using the War Within profession tools, the amount of stats you get are absolutely crazy for Dragonflight. So it's not like you're going around and you're getting like 5 ore at a time. So someone was telling me they were getting over like 20 ore at a time and stuff like this. It's ridiculous, but I can't obviously try it out. Because I've not got the character for it. And I'm not going to go now and start grinding out the knowledge in Dragonflight just so I can do one video on it. It's a lot of effort for one video. even if it would be cool to see how it works out. But I haven't seen anybody do a video on it yet. I think it's because generally speaking, a lot of people just, even a lot of content creators, don't keep all their professions up to date. Can you put a character with some rank 3 ambidextrous files on the PTR as well? Why do you want those? Or do you mean to craft them? Do you think we will? Oh no! For fuck's sake, dude, get that sub button already. I could get the sub button today on Twitch because I've got all the stats. I just need to stream so many times, so I could just do a few 10-minute streams. Yeah, I've got all the numbers for affiliate, but I'm intending on streaming a lot more frequently now, Mr. Manthius. I will actually message you about it later. But things are changing a little bit. But it's not just that with Twitch. I need to play around with the other stuff as well because I'm still running default, aren't I? Everything's still default UI and stuff. So I need to have a play and have something fancy like you and everybody else has. That's the Twitch if you want it. Get off, get off, get off. Where's it gone? Because it must have been like, what, 45 minutes since we've last had any profession catch up. You know, the only reason I need this profession catch up is because I've got to do the handing quest last week. Like, I could have given the guy like free lure drop and I'd save myself all this effort. There is someone called K-Chak. Don't know if that was you. Yeah, I've probably got an old account or something. I just can't even remember what. It's probably ancient. It's probably from like 10 years ago or something. Also wanted to go into Shadowlands legendaries, but couldn't get recipe even when maxed out. What do I need to do? I think it's bugged at the moment. Because like I said in that video, the last video that went out, I couldn't get it to unlock on my character. And there's a lot of bugs with the Shadowlands quest lines and stuff like that they've said that apparently aren't getting fixed to the next patch, which, sucks. Which is why I did that video talking about the legendaries, because I wasn't actually going to talk about it. I was actually just going to do it and craft them. So if you haven't already got it unlocked, it might be difficult to unlock at the moment. But at the same time, you've probably got a character somewhere on your account that can do it. If you've done if you played in Shadowlands. because you've probably, sort of unlocked all the stuff that you need to do. Whereas for me, I was trying it on a fresh character, so I hadn't done all that stuff. I'm not sure I have anything fancy. Well, it looks better than mine. I'm sure. I've not even got like the point things that pop up at the bottom, or I don't even think I filled out half the information or anything like that. It was just basically just to see if I could get it working streaming on both, which sort of works, although I am being mocked because of the fact that I'm using Restream. But that's fine. Some people know more things about this than I do, don't they? So and it is a WoW player forever. Mega Goblin on the EU server, terrible Fury Warrior, and even worked with Sank raids. And that, reading from that, if I was playing a warrior, that would have been in Shadowlands. So that shows you how old that, Twitch account is, because that's from Shadowlands, definitely. Possibly even BFA. I played a warrior in BFA as well. The last time I really played the game, I think I raided in the first tier in Shadowlands, and that was the last time I think I played the game in, like any sort of normal capacity, or what most people would call normal, at least anyway. In the About tab, yeah. Yeah, so it's ancient, that. Absolutely ancient, that. You're playing on different accounts, right? Is it worth paying the extra subscription fees, or am I missing something? If you are making enough gold on your accounts, then it is nice having multiple accounts. But if they're not paying for themselves in gold, then I wouldn't pay for multiple accounts. Like, think of it this way: what's the better thing to do? Are you going to make more gold spending your money to get more accounts, or are you going to make more gold just buying WoW tokens? If you're thinking about paying for the subscription with real life money, but I'd never do that. I think of it as, are you making enough gold from having that extra account that account can pay for itself and make profit as well? And in that case, it is worth having the account. But the account has to be sort of making enough gold profit from you having that account for it to be worth having that account, if you get me. If that account's not making you WoW tokens worth of profit at least a month, then you're making a loss from it. You get this catch up faster going Isle of Dawn, more herb density. Yeah, possibly. When I did Isle of Dawn before, though, that I found that to be really slow as well, to be honest. But I'm not that bothered about getting it faster anyway, because all I'm going to do is just set up another crafter anyway. Well, it does seem to be taking forever, this last two, doesn't it? I've just noticed I've got no treaties either. So I need to remember to do that when we're done. Because I don't want to have to get catch-up knowledge next week, because I've got to get some treaties as well. Restream is fine, it just comes at a price and is quite limited. Well, comes at a price if you pay anything and don't use some cheapy freebie version. But yeah, there are some plugins for OBS, isn't there, that's supposed to do it. But I did try messing around with all that and I just couldn't get it working. Right, we're going. Stealed. Grab that. How are you dealing with market being overflooded and people undercutting every time? Make little and often. And sell little bits. And then if they do crash the market, then you're not sort of at a loss then, are you? There's not a lot you can do if people are just going to cut the market down. You either have to craft and sell for less, and make less profit, or just leave the market, which is exactly probably what they want to do, which is why they're putting the price down. I'm just waiting for Blizzard Store to sell picks, PCs, so I can buy one for WoW Gold. Well, I'd be rich if they did that. If they started selling PCs. Like, if I could buy a PC with WoW Gold, then I would just be buying loads of PCs. And what would I do with lots of PCs? Yeah, I didn't realise how much. Someone came to me the other day and was telling me how much they make from actually sort of selling WoW Gold. You can sort of make a living off it, believe it or not. But it's not worth risking your account over. Do you just sell the herbs and stuff when you're done? Yeah. Because I'm only doing it for the knowledge. The gold is nice, obviously. It's a bonus. But I'm not going to mess about trying to craft stuff when it's such a small quantity of stuff. Like you see here, if I'm going to craft, I'm going to craft in decent quantities. Whereas like having like, you know, a couple of dozen, oh God, that's a lot. Having a couple of dozen herbs of each type is not going to get me very far. You can make good money doing sales as well. I'm not saying I've done it or anything. Yeah, I was surprised the amount of people that are making their living in a game, let's say. It was an interesting conversation if what was said was legit, which obviously I can't confirm. Hello, sir. Is dual crafting worth it for making gold as a solo? I've done okay prospecting, but the numbers are definitely down, unfortunately. And I've not tried much else besides concentration gems which is sort of okay. But it does seem to be one of the bigger concentration builds to go for. But crafting valves and stuff, that's not been too bad either. But once again, that's another thing that's got, like everything, it's just got ridiculously competitive. Oh, God, Liz. The monsters are home, send help. You lie, Dillinson. You love them. Which expansion zones have you enjoyed the most, or found the nicest visually to fly around gathering? Well, this one's dead nice. This is like one of the best zones I've ever done. It's just like amazing. Like this is definitely one of the best zones they've ever made. I mean, that's never been WoW's problem though, has it? They've always been good at making things look pretty. Besides Shadowlands, when everything was the same colour, but stop. It's a big thing in the poorer places like China and Russia. Plus 10 boost is like €20, yeah. But the people buying are risking their accounts there as well, aren't they? Like everyone's risking it, and surely Blizzard can see how dodgy it looks when it is going on. Thing is, you never really know how many people are actually getting banned. Because the only people you actually hear about getting banned are the ones who claim that they didn't do anything wrong and they, start a post on Reddit or something like that. Or they get banned and they moan about it in a YouTube video. But, there's probably people getting banned all the time you don't know about. I imagine it's just part of the game, isn't it, for them? Start a new account, go again. It's harder to prove now, though. Everything is self-play. Yeah, when I sold CM boosts, I did it on an account made for it, but not do it on the actual account. Yeah. Well, obviously, yeah, it's difficult from Blizzard's perspective because if the transactions are taking place outside the game, then it is difficult to prove. What's this going? Got 2 trial accounts banned. Well, you can't do much on a trial account. How can you get banned on a trial account? Like, surely the only thing you can be doing is you can't even spam trade chat or anything, can you? How can you possibly get banned on a trial account? Like, you must have been botting something, surely. Not going to lie, this is probably not allowed. So sorry, I'm going to make a ticket and involve your YouTube channel because this is not right. Okay, then. What is not allowed? 4 accounts, yeah. That's fine. See you later. Have fun. I made an account for trade chat monitoring and was sitting in main city. I've got a feeling you were doing more than monitoring trade chat. Blizzard endorsed multi-boxing decades ago, lol. This is not multi-boxing now. Like, I'm controlling one character here. You see this that I'm controlling? The other characters aren't getting controlled. There is no multi-boxing involved. If it was against terms of service, I would not be stupid enough to be streaming it, would I? Like, you have to be pretty... Like, it's a pretty stupid decision to do that, isn't it? But we get some every stream, guys. Every single stream. People coming in moaning about multi-boxing. It's not a new thing. It's the same principle, play multiple accounts. Multi-boxing, yeah. Multi-boxing means controlling multiple accounts. Which is completely, you're not allowed to do it anymore. But controlling multiple accounts with sort of a single keystroke. So I press a button on here and it does something on each of the accounts. You're not allowed to do that anymore. So stuff like IS Boxer and stuff like that's like completely banned for a while now. But having characters crafting on other accounts while you play the game, if that was illegal, then you would basically, illegal? That was against terms of service, then basically every gold maker would get banned. But it's not even multi-boxing. Yeah, I play 5 accounts all day, every day, yeah. I remember the 40-man multi-boxer in Asheron. I remember seeing a 15... I was in a battleground with 15 elemental shamans in Ida Storm. And they did instant chain lightning. It was just like... Just kill like 3 people instantly. But it's not as good as... It's not as good as people think in battlegrounds. It's just too easy to beat. Yeah, you've got a 15-man death ball that people are going to really struggle to kill. But they can only cap one base at a time, can't they? Sometimes he enjoys long walks in the moor, banned on a trial account. That's a new one, yeah. I think it's pretty impressive to get banned on a trial account, considering the amount of restrictions on the account. I'll get that one quick. I'm gone. That Taylor's nearly finished finally. You're allowed to multi-box, you just can't use a program to force the other accounts to act the same way. Yeah, well, I mean, depends what you define as multi-boxing, but you can't, yes, you can't use a program, or you can't use anything. Like, I can attack on this, and then I need to click to attack to that, then go to that, and then go to that. And you can attack on them all if you want to, but you need to do them all individually. How much gold you got? About 1.2 billion or something like that. That's the rough number ish. Yeah, the bolts have stopped because he's finished. God, that's laggy. It's probably not going to be. Yeah, surprise. I hate this warband bank thing. Just annoying. Switch it over. Right, just a sec. It's going to take half an hour now to load these up. Do you know if any anti-AFK macros are bannable, e.g. button press every 10 minutes through raise? Anything that is doing something when you're not there is probably bannable. Anything that auto disenchants, anything that stops you logging out, all that sort of stuff is you're really pushing the limit of potentially getting banned. Banned on Club Penguin speedruns. Eh? What's going on there? Right, finally we can go back in. It is bannable, yes. If you have to ask, then the answer is probably yes. Yeah, pretty much. That's the best way of putting it. If you have to ask, then the answer is probably yes. God, that's a lot of healing potions. I didn't think it was going to be that many, to be honest. Log them in one at a time so my PC doesn't melt too much. Search it on YouTube, very funny. I'll have a look. Not someone else trying to get me banned, surely, is it? Oh, I'm getting like a 55-minute video. Can't watch a 55-minute video. Still think that mass milling add-on is risky, not touching that yet. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a bit iffy to begin with, but it's been a month now. I think it'd be very harsh to be banning people after a month. I mean, I'm not even particular. Oh, for God's sake. What a moron. Got to even put the stuff in the bank, didn't I? Right. So I'm just going to craft some regular bolts as well now. Not enough money. What? How's he run out of money? Yeah, all good. Right, get to it. Uh, 1.2 billion, and here I am cresting 1 million for the first time in 20 years this morning. Hey, 1 million can become 10 million, can become 100, can become a billion. It's just how it works. We all started somewhere, didn't we? And if you've got 1 million, you've probably got a million more than a lot of other people have ever had before. I need to stop this happening. I will get that program one day where I can just do a click and sort all this out rather than messing about on stream. Why are you after me again? Oh, run away, run away. I'm not going to make it. I've got that. You dare throw anything at me? I'm going to die from it. What's the profit going to be on all the healing potions you're crafting? 0, because I'm crafting on the PTR. For data gathering, basically. So that one's not really doing anything besides getting me numbers. That's crafting bolts, which will make me some gold. And these top two are farming, which will also make me gold. Hopefully. I am going to bookmark that banned penguin thing, though. I bookmarked it, Mampius. I'll watch it later. I imagine I've probably found the wrong video if it's 50 minutes long, because if you're telling me it's funny, then it's not normally a 50-minute video, but... No. Warband Misu is a new add-on that is really helpful. Keeps a set amount of gold on each tune. I might have to look at that one as well then. It's that one where you can put level requirements, can't you? You put level requirements and say this character gets this much gold and stuff like that. Don't usually have a problem because all my crafters are usually most of my characters are usually on over sort of 9 million gold. Because I tend to run out of level 70 pluses before I run out of gold caps. So I don't understand how he's ended up with nothing. Still need 2 routes. Are you kidding me? That must have been like an hour and a half now since we've had any routes. I've never been past 4 million. I spent more than I make. I so totally didn't buy a bunch of tokens when they released a route. Yeah. Don't think you were the only one who were messing around with the tokens when that happened. Seeing as we sold out and people were having to use some really dodgy macros and stuff just to be able to even physically be able to buy a token. It's PTR main, yeah, getting the numbers, yeah. Yeah, I'm dual craft shuffling at the moment. My margins aren't great, but they are steady. I just suck at economy. Hey, as long as you make something from it. And as long as it's really low effort, then you're just less bothered, aren't you, about the amount you make from it. As long as you make something, if you just sat AFK not doing anything else, then or having running in the background while you're doing something else, then that's all good, isn't it? Oh, come on. Right. They went up nearly 500k gold. It was hard not to, 450k or something. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a panic situation how much those tokens went up. And the thing is, I was surprised it came back down so quick. Oh, 2 seconds, guys. That's fine. Just one past. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Just one past. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Just wireframe, guys. It's fine. We're still good. How much per Weevil kill? The Weevil drops that big red ray gun. So it's just whenever it drops that. It's not a particularly high drop rate. I just like it because it's an AFK farm. You just press like one button every 6 or 7 minutes and loot it. It's not. It is a terrible goal per hour. But it's just something you can do while you're, while you've got a free account. Yeah, those token prices. We had no idea that it was going to come back down like that. Usually, when it goes up, it usually stays up. So, okay. Oh god. Right. Come on. TSM to send excess gold, keeping a set amount on each. Yeah. There's a few ways you can sort issue out. I don't usually have that problem though. I don't know why that character run out of gold because it's not really spent anything recently. So let's just. They're still 355k now. Now I thought they'd drop down more by now. I was surprised they dropped down at all though. I thought when they went up that much they weren't going to drop back down. Or at least if they did, only a little bit. I wasn't expecting them to go to pretty much what they were, a couple of days before. Get out of here, Dad. Do not let me forget to get these treaties afterwards. Because I'm not doing this again next week. For one knowledge point. Nothing worse than when it unexpectedly goes down. I'm going to be careful what I read now before I say it. Is there any chance that the token price could drop with 0.7 release? Potentially a little bit, probably not a lot, if anything. It's only a 0.7, isn't it? It's not going to have hordes of people coming back. There's no new content that, needs people to have gold. Like, you need a new raid release, really, don't you, you need a new season for it to really affect the token price. And even then, it's not going to be that dramatic. You only see a little bit of a bump. Right. Right, I'm going to vendor these and write these numbers down now. Should have just done this in the first place. Oh, no, it's the silly budget auction house mount where I haven't got a vendor. Right. So that's 5,000. That's 10,000. Write that down. It's 15,000. I should have just done this earlier. This is easier than messing about putting stuff in banks. 20,000. Yeah, I should have just done that earlier. Oh, I'm dead. Finally died. That there. You need gold to make gold, really, yeah. What's your opinion on formatology? A lot of people are making some decent gold from it, but I generally think it's a great thing to have in the game because it stops the price of certain stuff getting sort of ridiculously low. I generally like this idea of recycling stuff. So I like the recycling of current expansion materials. I like the recycling of old expansion materials with engineering this expansion. Because I like the idea that things like dragonflight mining is actually viable. It just stops certain parts of the game just being dead, doesn't it? So and it could potentially be if you do have a situation whereby they are reusing materials next expansion from this expansion, then it could potentially end up being something that's very profitable going into next expansion even. Because if you're using any of those materials from this expansion, then having that shuffle available to you could potentially be very nice. It's definitely something I'll have set up before the end of the expansion anyway, on that off chance. Although we'll probably know by then anyway. The hell is... That's the treasures, isn't it? Yeah. I've just never seen him over this part of the zone before. Have that. Can you give advice about auction house competition? Yeah, what RG says, just post little and often. Don't go putting like 10,000 or something on the auction house unless like you intend on just leaving it overnight to sell or something like that. If you're trying to sell fast and make sure you get it sold, then it's just little and often. Spawn rate on the petals, rows, roots are terrible, yeah. Like I finished a mining one, an hour and a half ago, something now? And they have the same amount of catch-up knowledge. Why sell? It's PDR, yeah. I don't understand. He craft all and just vendor it. Yeah, like everyone said, it was just PTR data gathering. That's why I counted how many I got. You're going to play Classic. I would love to play Classic, but I don't have time to play Classic. Classic is a very time-consuming game. Come on. And at the moment, I'm trying to get videos out and I'm trying to stream more. I mean, I know I could stream Classic, but I don't think people really watch me for Classic content, do they? Oh, funny. Yeah, so I don't think I'll play Classic now as much as I want to. I'd probably go hardcore again. I never did get to 60 in the end. I got so close. I've still got a hunter that's like level 55 or something, I think. I just never got around to finishing him. Get up here. Hello, hello, Jetty. How are you doing? Making lots of gold as usual, I assume. Oh God, I really don't like engineering. What do you not like about engineering? I mean, there's certain things I don't like about engineering. Like the fact that when you're messing around with your rusted scrap and you're getting like hundreds of toys that you have to manually delete. That's sort of frustrating. It's a bit RNG to learn stuff, but come on. Look it up. Go. Hello, how do you farm through dungeon crawling with companions tailoring? You just run in, kill, run out, reset. Like every 30 seconds. Or at least for as many 30 seconds as you can do per hour at least anyway. But I don't have guides on that sort of stuff. That's not really how I tend to make my gold. I swear this is bugged or something. There's no way this can take this long. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to craft in such big quantities on the PTR anymore. I think that was a little bit overkill. Hello, what's the most gold you got in an hour before? Curious. Oh yeah, I did the 296 million gold mailbox opening, but that was over a few weeks, wasn't it? I didn't really earn the gold in an hour. Um, I don't actually know what the most like sales rate wise. I think on my TSM I've had that up to about 12 million gold in an hour before. But that wasn't all profit. Profit wise, selling on the auction house, maybe 6 million or something like that, probably 5, 6 million an hour. That's profit, not sales. I can't really remember what sort of gold per hour I was getting. All the times I've been first to market and I've not had any competition. No, it's not as good anymore. It's stable, 2 to 3 million a day for me. And this reset was good. I made more than 6 million last night, but overall the glory days are over. Yeah. Everyone's feeling bad times. It's definitely not what it was. And I finally got my blacksmith set up as well that you'd been telling me to set up for like 5 or 6 weeks or whatever it's been. That's finally bit and ready to go, just as everything dies. Uh, hey, been meaning to catch you live. Quick question: will you be sticking with WoW, or are you interested in Ashes of Creation when it comes along? Bug crafting, profession scene there. I think I'll be sticking with WoW, like forever now, probably till the day I die. Like I've been here since Classic. I'll be here till the end, I think. And like with the Classic WoW thing, like I could do a Classic WoW and do like a gold making thing on there as well, but it's just time. If I spend time on Classic WoW, it's time I'm not spending on regular WoW. And it's videos I'm not making for regular WoW. So if I'm not gonna go to Classic WoW, which is something I do want to play, and could potentially make content for, then it's very difficult for me to pay anyway. Like I've wanted to play Diablo 4 since release, and I've got the game, but I've just not had time to play it. So I've not even loaded it up or anything because I just don't get time. Unfortunately, as much, and I've got other games as well that I bought and just never had chance to play them yet. Guess you should keep your blacksmithing for next expansion now. Well, I'm pretty sure I can still make some gold from it, especially as I don't have to compete with you as well because I'm US, aren't I? So maybe I can make more gold in the US than you can make in the EU. Where are we going? Sit there for a minute. Get some. I don't think I've had a single one of those today, have I? doing it for 3 hours and not a single one. Do you ever consider trying gold making in WoW Classic? Well, yeah. Like I said, I did last time. I got quite a bit of gold. I think I got up to about 3,500 gold, but that was quite early in WoW Classic that I got it. Just by Devil Sword killing, basically, and crafting Devil Sword stuff. So yeah, I have done some of it before, but it's just too much effort to set it all up, basically. I've never seen 4 windows before. Are those 4 separate WoW accounts? I assume you can't be logged. Yeah, it's 4 separate WoW accounts. I have 11 WoW accounts now, but all paid for with WoW Gold. Oh, not to advertise too much and everything, guys, but if you're here and you are not on the Discord, the Gold Making Community Discord, that's the pinned comment if you want to join on there. And we are growing ridiculously fast. It's been absolutely crazy how that's been since it started. I do, however, know some kind of programs for Windows management so you can make a preset and device and screens evenly. Yeah, I know. Everyone keeps telling me that. And after every stream, I'm like, it's fine, I'll sort it out for next stream. And then it messes up, and obviously I've not done it from last stream as well, but I've just got so much on my to-do list. I want to get the Twitch stuff sorted out first to make it actually not look like it's like, you know, try and make it a little bit professional and not look like some, you know, kids' MySpace page or something like that. Oh, come on, get me out of here. You have the time. That's the point of being a billionaire. You get all the money, then you go from something else. Yeah. Why do you need 11 when you play 4 at a time? So I play 4 at a time when I'm on stream, but sometimes I will play up to 8 or 9 at a time. But that tends to be when I'm listing auctions. So when you're listing auctions across every EU and US server, it's beneficial to have all the extra accounts, because if you list auctions on it's just so much faster. So you think if you've got, on each of my accounts, I've got, I think, about 22 servers on each D8 accounts, and that's what makes up the 175 WoW servers across the EU and the US. But if you had half the amount of accounts, and you were doing it for like 44, 45 on each one, then it significantly increases the amount of time it takes you to list your auctions. So for me, it's worth having the extra accounts, even though I don't need the accounts as such, just to make it much easier to list my auctions across all the servers. But it also means I've got 5 accounts on the EU and 5 accounts on the US. Well, I've got 5 on the EU, 6 on the US now. But it means if I want to do any sort of 5-player farming, I can do that on my own as well. I mean, I did some 3-player farming on stream the other week. 4-player, isn't it? Summon farming's 4-player. But like this sort of farm here, is like okay, it's fine. I'm sat here AFK every 6-7 minutes. I'll kill the mob. But if you had it 5 characters set up at the same location but on different servers, then each time the mob spawns on one of the servers, you have a macro. So if it spawns here, like it just spawned here, you'd then click your macro, invite all the other characters. They would all join, come into this phase, kill the mob. Then they all leave the phase. And then when it spawns on the next one, then you invite to the next phase. And you get like a ridiculous amount of loot doing it that way. So you can farm like that as well if you've got 5 accounts. Or you can do it with any amount of accounts, but obviously the more the better. It just scales up better and better because the more characters you've got, the more different phases you're in, and the more extra characters you're killing it with each time. If you get me. So yeah, there's loads of reasons to have lots of extra accounts. But for me, it's mostly just listing the auctions and making it as efficient as possible. JSB, hello K-Chat, love to see the stream going. Great to have you here, JSB. And hopefully one day I'll get some Deep Grove roots. No. Well, I did tell you how you can crash Blacksmithing Market before. On EU side, there is less than 5 people who can compete. You potentially can get even less competition if you risk more gold. Well, you know me. I'm quite happy to risk some gold if it'll make a good YouTube thumbnail. Even if you lose it, it makes a good YouTube thumbnail, doesn't it? So, classic gold making is basically farming, especially since there is only really 2 servers. Yeah, I mean, and that's basically what I did. I was just farming Devil's Saw leather and crafting it into Devil's Saw gear. There's not there's no complexity at all to the gold farming in Classic. There are little things you can do in Classic with stacking and stuff like that and all that sort of stuff, but I think they've even got rid of a lot of that now, haven't they? Because aren't they using the new auction house in Classic as well, did I hear a while ago? But yeah, generally speaking, like Mampia said, there's nothing really exciting to do in gold making on Classic. The only thing that interested me a bit more was potentially doing gold making on hardcore, because it's not the same, is it? So like, yeah, before I was soloing Devil Saws with my hunter and crafting Devil Saw gear, but you'd be like a moron to try doing that on hardcore because you just die so quickly. Like, you don't die all the time, but it's just one well-placed fear and you're dead. So doing it on hardcore might be a bit more interesting. But not interesting enough that I'm willing to put sort of all the time and effort into it. Not that. $33,000, so we need what, about 20,000 ish. Oh, that thing we were going to sort out, guys, about the windows getting silly, yeah? I'll sort that program out for next stream, don't worry. Oh, that was not a safe place to land. Sit there for a minute. You know where I am if you need any help. Yeah. Well, Dillinson, hopefully I'll be seeing you in person soon, won't I? Come May. I'm interested to see what that event's going to be like. I really am. I'm curious. I've never been to like a WoW event thing before. Yeah, Petri Flask was a meme in Original Classic, and in Hardcore it's one of the most sought after items, yeah. I was really surprised when they brought out Hardcore though that they didn't change that. It just seemed a bit of a cop out, didn't it? Oh yeah, you can craft this flask and then you're gonna leave the group and it's gonna teleport you out of dungeon. It's like they should actually that's what the change should have been this time. They should have changed it and got rid of Petri Flask. Because like I saw that thing that went up on WoW the other day. It's like, oh, the first guild to kill Facade on hardcore. It's like, oh yeah, that's great. And how many Petri Flasks did you use on the way? I mean, it's a massive, amazing accomplishment, but it feels a lot ballsier not having Petri Flasks in the game. Top of the morning from the US, Cowboy Upson. Good to have you here, Cowboy. In a few months, yeah. Yeah. It's May, isn't it? Agreed, kind of silly. Yeah, it's just a bit of a. I don't know, it's just a bit of a weird. Interaction sort of thing. But I like hardcore being hardcore. I don't like having this. It's hardcore, but because like classic WoW, it's not as bad as sort of the insta kill mechanics as well either, is it? So quite often you can see when you're going to die. These routes must be bugged. Like this is just nuts. So I use Windows' own program called Power Tools. I'll DM you about it on Discord. Okay. Yeah, if the thing is, if you message me on Discord, at least I'll remember then because I'll see the message. Oh wow, you're live. It's been a while. Good to see you. Good to see you, Alex. As much as you know about the WoW shits when it comes to Windows interface, you are the grandpa. I am, yeah. It's not so much being a grandpa. It's just being too lazy to make things more efficient. It's like, do I really need to do that? If it's making gold making more efficient, then yeah, I'll put, 20 hours into doing something that's going to save me like 10 seconds every 2 days. But making real life more efficient, nah. Will you be a token on Fresh Classic? I don't think so. They've made a couple of changes, haven't they? But nothing that's... They're never going to put the token on Classic. They brought it in wrap, I think, didn't they? They brought it in about the same time as it came in on the original time. No, it wasn't actually, because it didn't come in till WOD, did it? We didn't get a token till WOD. Because I remember the day it came, and I had loads of gold from the garrisons, and I just bought like 5 years worth of game time. I don't know how to do gold with healing potions. I'm not making gold, I'm getting numbers. Just ignore that. It looks like it's making gold. It looks like it's doing things. It's not really. It's just something I need to have running in the background. I'll tell you what, if I move that to there and that to there, then you can ignore the alchemist then, can't you? This guy's making gold. In terms of regions, do you apply law of averages and believe if you craft everything when it's profit overall, you'll be in profit no matter what you sell? Yeah, I mean, if on average you're crafting at a profit, then if you're always crafting on average at a profit, then you're going to make a profit, aren't you? Some people say, you hear statements like, I rely on multi-craft and stuff like that, but it's irrelevant. It's what is your average crafting cost, what is your average sales, and what's your average profit, and that's all that matters. Like sometimes when people say things like that, it just sounds like they've got a bit of a misunderstanding behind everything. Like everyone's relying on multi-craft and resourcefulness and stuff like that because that's how they're getting their average numbers, or you should be doing. Dude, mining and herbing catch-up takes forever. Skinning is fast, but the other two are so goddamn slow. Yeah, tell me about it. But I've only got this because I had free catch-up to get from forgetting to do the handing quest last week. And it's taken me like hours to get this. I really do think it's bugged because it should not be taking this long. I mean, to be fair, I could just skip the mining and just do the herbalism, but oh, do you know what I forgot? We've been doing it so long. That's gone again as well. Weevil's back up. Still no luck. WOD token price was very broken, started at 8k gold and stayed at 15k gold for a while, yeah. But everyone had loads of gold, didn't they? Because everyone had just been sat on the garrisons, just logging in every day and just... There was no to do in WOD, so everyone was just leveling up characters. Everyone had like 1 million garrisons. And you got garrison missions that were giving you like thousands of gold from just clicking a button. Like raw gold, just thousands of it. And that's why people ended up buying literally years of game time. Because you couldn't use it for BattleNet bounce then, could you? You could only use it to get game time. They added BattleNet bounce on later on. Do you always have to reload UI to get latest TSM snapshot auction house database? I have no idea. I don't have a problem with that. I find TSM is reasonably up to date to do the things I need to do on it, at least anyway. But I literally only use it for listing auctions. If you're crafting and stuff with it, and you're using the profit margins and stuff like that from it, then come on. Then I've got no idea how well that works. TSM's amazing for a lot of things, but there are some things that options that are with it that are things that can be done better elsewhere, maybe. Like stuff like the crafting and stuff like that. Is making enchants very profitable? Not massively profitable anymore. I mean, I can't imagine anybody's managing to sell regular rank 3 enchants without concentration anymore for a profit. Obviously, people are making gold from concentration still, but it's the numbers just seem to be dropping every week. How much are you making from your concentration now?
Me?
Yeah.
I've been on it for a week. Wow, I mean. Last I checked, it was still double profit.
What, doubling your gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the prices were bottoming.
K-Check, I recorded a video showing you how to set up your Windows, but it's 39 megabit and Discord limit is 10. Do you want me to upload it to YouTube and as a private video link? Oh yeah, you can do that if you like. And thank you for doing that. Like if you've put all that effort in, then that's basically forced me to do it now, hasn't it? Now you've done all that.
What about the taskbar?
Oh no.
I found a link that might be able to stop the flash bar from not working in game.
Okay. TSM isn't the same after Dragonflight. It used to be God Mode add-on. Then you just didn't know what it needed to start Dragonflight. I mean, yeah, it was a huge change though, wasn't it? And it did struggle a bit at the start of the Dragonflight. But to me now, it does everything I want it to do. All I want it for is auctions and warehousing and mailing. And it does all those things absolutely fantastically. A bit disappointed the ledger doesn't work as well as it used to. But, you know, the system is getting more and more complicated, so... Right, where are we? Green on green, thank you. Are you still doing braces DE to shatter? I haven't been doing it as much recently because any disenchanting I have been doing recently has been on the 0 to gold cap, and I don't have the tailor on that to do it, or I don't have the bolt crafter either. I don't have the bolt crafter, I don't have the unraveler, I don't have anything on the 0 to gold cap. I just have literally a disenchanter. So on that, the only shuffle I've really been doing is, well, if you can even call it a shuffle, is just disenchanting Dark Moon decks basically. Because obviously I can only do one at once. And gameplay wise, it's mostly been the 0 to gold cap when I've actually just been messing around doing my own gold making. Right. Come on. Why did he dismount then? TSM price update is very slow. The best way is to know your numbers and just calculate in a second. But seconds of that, Craft Sim have a price override option. You can do the same, but it takes an eon. Yeah, well, that's why I just like having a crafting sheet and knowing what your crafting cost is and what you need to sell it at to break even. I'd rather have that than say Craft Sim tell me, oh, you're crafting at a profit, but you've got no idea what your actual crafting cost is. You know it's at a profit when you started crafting, but is it a profit when you finish crafting? And that's why I'd rather just do a crafting sheet and do it myself, basically. Right. I think I've almost given up on this now. At least it's taught me to never ever miss my weekly stuff. Right, see if we make any gold from this at least. That's better. God, these prices really have come down, haven't they? That's still 110. 31 gold for Null Lotus. I know I'm laughing at that, and the EU people are probably like screaming at me, moaning about these prices, but as far as rank 1 Micro Bloom isn't lower, you know, by now. They've gone up in price. They used to hardly cost anything because you get them from treasures, don't you? Right. 20 Null Stones. That it? That everything? So what do we get? What, nearly 50k gold? It's fine. That'll do us. Right, I'm going to go and do this now before I forget. try doing weekly stuff on 11 crafters. Well, I've got loads of crafters. Crafters aren't the problem. It's the mining and herbalism catch-up that's the problem. Each morning I do price overrides and crafts for materials. I hate how profits in it bounce all over the place every time I open up the auction house because people are seeding low prices of one item. Yeah, it's a nightmare, and that's why on my crafting sheet I put everything in manually. I know there's ways to do it quicker. But I just think if you do it manually, it just seems to you just get a more reliable result. But I can understand why people use CraftSim and stuff. Like Jetty says there, but the truth is that no add-on will ever be accurate to calculate profits, and we did benefit from the fact that for a long time people are lazy and they use an add-on that shows them wrong numbers. Yeah, I mean, that's it. People just want the quickest and easiest way of doing things as well, don't they? So, so they will go with the add-on. And obviously people don't also want to make their own crafting sheets either, do they? Because that's time and effort as well, isn't it? Get these done before I forget. But that's just why I like to know. Like, I'm not even that bothered about my profit margins and stuff like that. Well, you are, but I'm more bothered about the fact and knowing what do I need to sell something at the auction house to break even. And if you know that number, then you know where you stand whether prices go up or down or whatever. What profession should I start trying to make gold in the beginners in professions? I would go, well, if you're a beginner, it's mining and herbalism, like you're seeing up here. If you've got a bit of gold, then you can set up enchanting concentration builds. They're still making some gold at the moment. But I wouldn't try doing regular crafting or anything like that. Right, I forget. Get these treaties crafted now because I don't want to have to get even more catch-up knowledge next week after that nightmare we've had today. Ever loads. Another weevil kill. After enchanting, what profession would you use for an alt? I don't know at the moment. I don't know because I've not looked into it, but it's the next video I'm looking at. And I will look at it tonight as to what I think the best concentration builds are at the moment. I will look at it tonight and try and get a video out over the weekend. Probably Sunday. Because like I said, it's been a long time since I've looked at it and a lot of people are asking me, because I don't even know if enchanting is still the best. I imagine it possibly is, maybe is. Right. Where's multi-craft gone? Yeah. Come on, give me some big. It's no good. I DM'd you on Discord with a link to the unlisted Vix video. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will definitely sort it this time. Concentration, dual crafter makes profits also. Yeah, I imagined the gems would still make profit, which I assume is what you're referring to. Because the amount of crushed gems, it's 30 crushed gems, isn't it? So you've got quite a price difference there between the rank 2s and the rank 3s, which is going to make a concentration build profit, you know, potentially viable. Right, come on. But yeah, I'll have a look at it tonight. The other concentration stuff. Right. Well done. I wish to just get rid of the mail as well. Oh, what happened there? Did we get some crazy proc I didn't see? 14. The concentration, I have got a link to a video somewhere. The concentration ones. Where's that playlist link gone? Right. That's the basic video for the basic enchanting one. There's other builds as well, but they're all on a playlist on the video on the channel. If you look on any video that's been released in the last couple of weeks, there's a playlist on there as well. Just a minute, I might be able to get a link for that as well. Should do, as soon as it's on the videos. Yeah, so that, to be fair, the playlist is there. The first video is probably the one you want to do because that's the basic setup, but the second video is a playlist. But just remember, all this stuff, these videos are a bit older now, so the profit margins have gone down a lot since then. Right. So guys, I think today we're going to have to leave that there because it's time for me to eat because I am very hungry. So thank you all you guys for coming and hanging out again. Hopefully I can get more into the habit of doing this and hopefully we can stream over the weekend as well. Probably on Saturday. And thanks to all you guys that have popped over on Twitch as well. Thanks for another day of lessons, teacher. That is going to become a thing, isn't it? Yeah, cheers, guys. Cheers for coming. And if you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. Pinned comment at the top. We'll see you later.